Good morning, my name is Jacopo Galli and I'm a postdoc research fellow at Università U di Venezia and associate researcher at Fondazione Enrico Mattei. Today I will be presenting a paper titled Retracing Reconstruction, establishing an analytical drawing method for the comprehension and systematization of urban metamorphosis following extreme events. The term urbicide, the fundamentally illegitimate form of modern conflict in which a urban population is targeted for destruction, was used to describe the destruction following the modernization processes in the 60s and first applied to war contexts in the 90s during the Balkan Wars. Today, the militarization of cities has become an ongoing global condition, and urbicides have increased in scope and number. But if someone destroys, others must reconstruct. However, a huge knowledge gap exists in the analysis and systematization of processes of urban metamorphosis following conflicts, large-scale social problems, or natural disasters. A comparative study of past cases, highlighting similarities and differences, allowing for a critical assessment, has never been fully developed. It is fundamental to define an analytical method allowing not simply to understand the past, with its processes of decision-making and morphological metamorphosis leading to the current urban settings, but most importantly, to transform it in an operative tool for the definition of future strategies of intervention. The work of Leonardo Benevolo on the San Pietro Square, published in Casabella in 1990, provides a precious methodological approach. The research matches historical analysis with critical redrawing, allowing to comprehend the evolution process that has led to the current urban setting. The tools to be used are not those of the architectural historians that tend to focus on the artistic and poetic values without trying to retrace the operative steps that have led to the final configuration, but rather those, analytical and operative, specific to designers. Benevolo individuates three key moments in the history of the urban complex: the arrangement of the piazza before Bernini's project, the completion of the colonnade with the definition of the ovoidal square operated by Bernini between 1662 and 1670, and the current conditions following the construction of Via della Conciliazione by Marcello Piacentini, completed between 1937 and 1950. The three phases are not only described and documented with significant archive materials, but are also drawn at the same scale and with the same type of visual representation, in order to eliminate the discrepancies given by the different drawing styles. This type of analysis allows to understand the reasoning behind each design decision that cannot be explained through the simple observation of the current state of the urban environment. The final drawing overlaps the condition before Piacentini's intervention with the current one, showing with three simple colors the complex entanglement of urban continuities and breaks. The red buildings are unchanged in the two time frames, the yellow are the demolished, and the blue the reconstructed, while the hatched yellow and blue shows the buildings that were reconstructed on areas previously occupied by other buildings. The sum of these layers allows to define a powerful tool for the comprehension of the urban metamorphosis, allowing a trained eye to understand in a single glimpse a complex design history. The application of this drawing method to the historical case studies is possible through the retracing of archival materials documenting the condition in specific time frames. As an example, for the City of London, the London County Council bomb damage maps. Our focus here is on the Cripplegate area, a dense medieval urban pattern north of the Thames River made of low-rise row houses. The area was effectively erased from the map on the evening of 29th of December 1940 during a Luftwaffe blitz that completely destroyed the historical pattern. The reconstruction strategy was to completely alter the pre-war urban pattern that was substituted with the brutalist building that form today the Barbican complex. It is a complete paradigm shift with a new infrastructural system and the substitution of low and dense elements with high-rise buildings. The overlay of the two time frames, defined as transformation map, clearly shows the process of urban metamorphosis that allows the few historical permanences, such as the small Saint-Gilles church, to interact with the later intervention, allowing to visualize the complex dialogue made of substitution, alteration, and stratification. The drawing method, derived from Benevolo work, can be applied to a number of case studies in order to understand the different ways in which the urban form has been altered during and after conflicts. At this stage, the chosen case studies are European cities destroyed during World War II. It is possible to visualize how the design and planning approaches to similar problems have been radically different. From the as it was where it was, extended from the single monument to the urban scale in Italian and German cities, to the radical planned modification of a urban form in France and the UK, to a complete refoundation caused by political reason in Spanish pueblos adoptados. The transformation maps, seen side by side, allow to visualize the variability of urban metamorphoses and confront them in order to construct interpretative categories and underline similarities and differences. The analysis, now limited to word extraction, can be broadened to many other categories of urban pressure. This may allow to understand if and how the different types of destruction influence strategies of reconstruction, while allowing to assess the results of the different strategies in a short, medium, and long time frame. As an example, the two cities of Nicosia on the island of Cyprus and Muharraq in Bahrain show how different problems can be analyzed through the same drawing approach. The two cities have not experienced major traumatic and violent events in their recent history. But on one side, the division between Turkish and Greek urban areas, and on the other, the modernization processes following the discovery of fossil resources have led to major urban modification. The quantity and scope of building substitution is impressive, while particular conditions, such as the establishment of a divisive no-go zone or the alteration of the coastal line, can be traced and represented. The transformation maps allow to confront the different conditions and assess if the applied planning and design strategies have been successful in tackling the urban pressure specific to each area. The next step in the research is the definition of a monitoring questionnaire that will allow to confront in numerical terms the different reconstruction processes. The results of the questionnaire will allow us to categorize reconstruction strategies and define their strengths and weaknesses. The development of this organized knowledge is a foundational element towards the definition of innovative intervention strategies, with the final goal of establishing that science and the art of reconstruction already invoked by Patrick Geddes more than 100 years ago at the end of World War I. Thank you.